the ages. Operation 6 weeks ago.
Good morning, friends. How are you this fine Wednesday morning? I am joining you live from Augusta, Georgia, where it is very steamy, very humid, and we're supposed to have storms moving in. Hopefully, that'll hold off because there's a huge event going on down here, as you probably know, that a lot of people are attending. And yeah, so today's mug, of course, I got a new one. My new gorgeous patchwork. It looks like a patchwork quilt, doesn't it? But this is my new mug that I got yesterday while we were at the practice day for the Masters tournament. Love this. And if you are new to this broadcast, welcome. It is great to have you here. Thanks so much. You know, I put out to everyone yesterday that I wanted you to join me for an Ask Me Anything sort of episode of my live stream show. So here I am. So if this is your first time to catch me live, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. To all the friends who I know will probably pop in here, say good morning. Good morning. Hi, Jan. Good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Sherry. Thanks. Yeah, it's the newest mug for the collection, right? Had to get it. So this is an Ask Me Anything about the Masters tournament, what it's like to attend the Masters tournament, and also if you have any questions about writing and telling your story, because I'm going to talk a little bit about the similarities between watching these golfers master their craft and play against each other in this tournament versus someone who is writing, wanting to share their story, wanting to develop their stories so they can share content with their friends, their family, their followers in a more concise and beautiful way. And so that's what I love to do. Good morning, Rick. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So, yeah, the Masters, what can I say? Yesterday was a tournament day. It was also a practice day. So Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are the practice rounds. You can take a camera in. You can watch the players sort of work on different shots they want to make, different angles that they're taking. We saw several of the players yesterday who are out there. They tee off from the box. They throw out balls. Their caddies will throw out balls in different places and where they practice their shots. What was really great to see were some of the new players who I have my eye set on a little guy named Tom Kim. I believe he is 19 years old or 20 years old, one of the youngest players on the course, but he is playing on one of the greatest golf courses in the United States. So the Masters is one of four major golf championships that is played in the United States. When you get there, you get a little spectator guide, right? Did I see Tiger? No, I didn't see Tiger. He could have played really early in the morning, um, but we'll probably see him, of course, at the tournament. We'll see all the players tee off. Um, and so I did see Francesco Molinari. I saw Rory McIlroy, John Rahm. Who else did we see? Um, the Spaniards. They call the Spaniards. It was John Rahm, Sergio Garcia, Abraham Answer, several players that were out there yesterday. Just Louis Oosthuizen, um, trying to get off. Remembering all the players' names is difficult. But this little spectator guide is really great because they give you one when you first walk in the course. It has a map of the course inside so you can see how big the course is. Let me tell you how big the course is. Yesterday I walked 7.15 miles, 18,000 steps yesterday, and I'm definitely feeling it today. But what is amazing, what I find interesting about golf, and of course you have some of the top ranked golf players in the world there, right? The top 50 of the official world golf ranking, the top 50 players are invited to play the Masters. The Masters is not a tournament you qualify. This is by invitation. And so these players are invited to come and play here. When I say the course is beautiful, I took photos, and my photos I don't think can even really show you the beauty of this course. When you see it on television, it's just as beautiful as it looks. And every hole at the course has a name because the Masters tournament area used to be a landscaping nursery. And so every hole has a dedicated plant that is grown there. So on the water bottles that you can get there at the Masters, I don't know if you can see this here, but they have, can you see that? Let me see if it'll focus in. It has all of the different names of the plants that are growing there. Is it as hilly as they say? Yes, it is. When you watch these players chip and play, and I mean, I know they've played this course before, but every time they move the pin on the different places on the greens, the approach to some of these holes, and when they hit the ball doesn't necessarily just roll the way you think it would. Sometimes it'll hit the green and roll back. So what these players are doing on the practice days is they are testing out how the greens are and walking it. Yes, I mean, you get a different walkout. John and another SiriusXM producer spent an hour on the course trying to find a weed. No luck. It's true, Jan. No weeds in sight. I even took a picture of my feet on the grass. I've never seen such perfect grass growing. And so all the different holes. So for example, on hole 1 is the tea olive. Number 2 is the pink dogwood. Number 3 is flowering peach. Number 4 is flowering crab apple. Hole number 5 is the magnolia. Hole number 6 is juniper. Hole 7, pampas grass. Hole 8, yellow jasmine. Hole 9, the Carolina cherry. Hole 10, the camellias. And everything is in bloom, starting to bloom, which is really great. Hole 11 is the white dogwood. Hole 12, golden bell. Hole 13 is the azaleas. Hole 14 is the Chinese fir. Hole 15 is the firethorn bush, and I did get a picture of that. And they're huge, huge bushes that sort of divide the holes. Everybody's walking around them. Hole 16 is redbud. Hole 17 is nandina, and hole 18 is the holly. So every hole features a different plant, and the beauty of the course is unmatched. Now, the thing that's really interesting about watching these golfers play is that even though they've played this course before, even though these are the top golfers in the world, every time they play the Masters, it's a brand new challenge. And again, like I said, and I'm going to check the weather because, they say that there's supposed to be weather moving in. So on Thursday, the first day of the tournament, it's going to be 85 degrees. It is going to, 85 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So it'll be beautiful, but it'll be hot. And it is humid here. When I say humid, guys, okay, let me just see if I can move the camera and I'll show you. I'll move my camera so you can see. This is a beautiful house that we're staying in, by the way. Guys, the windows are already fogged outside. Can you see that? I mean, it's morning here. It's 9:13, right? We are on Eastern time. Yeah, beautiful house here that we're staying in. The guy, the husband that lives here, they're duck hunters. He's a duck hunter. So there are stuffed ducks on the walls here. I was kind of like, oh my goodness. But it is humid. It is humid. It is muggy. Like, I'll get out. I mean, my hair was a poof ball. Even though we were trying to take pictures, it was hot. It was humid. However, there's a storm system moving in. There's a storm system moving in. And so Friday is supposed to be 74 degrees with a 67% chance of rain. But on Saturday, the high is only going to be 52 degrees with a 99% chance of rain all day. And then Sunday, the high is 59 with a 79% chance of rain. Oh, and do they play in the rain? Yes, they do. Unless there's lightning, they have to play in the rain, which presents a whole new set of challenges to these players, again, who have played this course before. And yet, add in the weather, add in the fluctuating temperature changes. So they're going to go from 85 to 52. So Michael is here, Jan. Michael is here, but he is sleeping. He is here. In fact, our master bedroom where we're staying is around the corner. Hopefully he won't come out and forget that I'm doing the show and just be stumbling out here. But Michael and several of his friends, the rest of his friends are flying in today, and they're going to go. So I'm here in a house, me, with it's going to be 6 other guys, including one of our nephews, and his friend is coming too. So it's me in the house with a bunch of guys. I will not be walking the course in the rain. Nope, not going to do it. I'm probably going to go on Thursday. We'll see how Friday is, but I am not going to go walk the course in the rain. One, I don't want to slip and fall. It gets very muddy. So imagine those challenges. Imagine those challenges to seasoned golfers. And if you saw what the intro video said, is that Tiger said that having talent, you can have talent that you're born with, but to acquire a skill is 99% work and effort. You can naturally be talented at playing an instrument. You can naturally sing. You may naturally have the ability to write or to sculpt, or maybe your natural talent is to build things with your hands. But to get that skill to become refined and natural to you requires work. It requires skills. It requires dedication to developing those skills. Um, right, right. That's true, Jan. It's true. Me and the men, as usual, radio promo, bud. Right. The weather craziness. Right. You it will favor the experienced players. You're absolutely right, Rick, because these players know the course. They know that how the ball, when it hits the greens, could speed up the process. Michael said before in times past that the players will play it short because they know what the ball will do in wet weather. Tom Hoge is a player from Fargo in the tournament. You do not know him. He is missing a blizzard day. Well, he's probably happy to be missing a blizzard day. Tom Hoge, yes. Well, that's great to know, Sherry. I didn't know he is from Fargo. So yeah, a lot of the players are here. Several of the champions dinner was last night, and it's fascinating to watch them. I mean, yes, well, once I get figure out how to get all of the pictures off my camera and loaded, I'm going to share them here on my social media accounts. And we were very close. I mean, some of them that were walking by on the holes, we were able to wish them well in the tournament. It was great to see them close, but I'm telling you, some of the players played in groups and some of them played by themselves. For example, Francesco Molinari played by himself, and some of the players who were playing by themselves, you could see them really coming at the greens from different directions, different angles. They're really trying to get their head in the game for being there. Fans were there in the stands watching them. Some people were only able to buy passes to the practice rounds because they do not have badge access. And so some people were there just on the practice rounds to get to go in there, to get to shop, to get to see the players practice. And so they had a board where they had them grouped together. Some of them were playing in groups. Some of them were playing, like I said, by themselves. Got to see Tony Finau and Tom Kim playing together. They paired up. Victor Hovland was paired up with another young man. I cannot remember his name. I think it was Fox. But anyway, it was really great to watch the seasoned, experienced players playing along with some of the younger first-timers, mentoring them, if you will, helping them sort of learn the course, sort of giving them some tips, sort of helping them understand the nuances of the course, how to approach certain greens, where to tee off. It was fabulous to watch. So again, when you think of writing, you could try to go at it on your own. You could try to just, plow along, taking courses, reading books, learning, but it's the consistency of writing every day. And also, maybe like some of these newer players, you want to pair up and work with someone who can mentor you in the process, help you learn some of those skills, help you get better. And so when you learn from the masters, from the experts in the field, that only helps you get better. I'm lucky enough that I have a very dear friend who I consider a mentor, who I sometimes do work for her. Sometimes I ask her, I'll go to her and I'll say, hey, when you're working on something like this, have you ever noticed this? Or in a situation where you're dealing with this kind of author, what do you do? And so what I do is try to ask my friend, because she is very seasoned in all levels of editing, and she's now a ghostwriter. I mean, that's what she does now. She gets paid to write people's stories, and she's not really editing anymore. So she'll hand off those editing jobs either to me or other people in her little pool of editors that she has. But I always appreciate asking her. And I'm working on a project for her right now. I got some great feedback back from her. She said, you are really earning your money on this one. Fantastic job on the editing. And for me, that helps me know that where my skill level is now is where it needs to be able to continue working on books and helping other people write their stories, right? So I want that kind of input. I want that kind of expertise. I want those people in my life who can help mentor me, who can help guide me along the way, who can help point out the little nuances of things in the publishing industry so that I can be more effective to my clients and help them. So it's just like um, watching the masters, watching these seasoned players come alongside these younger, first-time young men who are approaching the course with just big eyes because they've played in some tours, they've played in some championships, they've earned their their badges, they are qualifying themselves. So that's the thing, is that you want to do that. John's been to all the major sporting events, Super Bowl, Final Four, World Series. He said there is nothing like the people who come to the Masters, a unique experience. It's true, Jan. It's so true. Um, well, yes, I am unique in so many ways. But, the Masters is such a unique experience. For example, here's something interesting about the Masters. When you go in, you can take your little folding chairs. You could buy them at the course. You buy these little folding chairs. When you go to the course, and Michael has a strategy. I mean, he has it down pat. He's not only been to the Masters several times in his lifetime, but he's also played in the course. So he knows the course. He knows the holes. He knows where everything is. He knows where you want to sit so that you can see a scoreboard, which I love because they go up and they are manually changing the scores as you watch them, which is really cool. It's not a digital scoreboard. It's a manual scoreboard. They have people up there, little scorecards, they put them in. So, but when you take your chairs, you take your chairs, and Michael's strategy is to put our chairs at certain holes. So say we might put our chairs down at hole 3 and hole 15, or 2 and 16. And you go there and you put your chairs down, and your chairs have a little slot for like a business card where you can put your name. And you put your chairs down, nobody touches them or moves them. So we have a strategy where we get in early in the morning and we break up in little groups and we go, and everybody goes and they put the chairs down at the holes. And I'm telling you, when you walk hole to hole, nobody messes with the chairs. Nobody moves them. It's not when someone gets there and they don't do that. They're not allowed to do that. In fact, there are gallery people in green jackets, and their job is to watch the holes and make sure nothing is done. Or if there are any changes in seating due to if a ball is coming or whatever has to happen, they make sure that those are moved, but nobody touches those chairs. Also, you can't take your phones in. No cell phones. How am I holding up with all the walking? That's a good question, Sherry. So I have recently discovered that I have hip dysplasia, and I've been having some challenges with walking my hips. So I've been doing some physical therapy to get me strong enough to walk this course. I did it yesterday. I walked 7.15 miles. Now, what really got me yesterday was the heat. So I'm concerned about Thursday, but I have a hat. Yesterday, I did not have my hat. And what happened was, it was a beautiful day. It was great until about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And from 3 to 5, it got hot. Well, I didn't have my hat, didn't have any sunscreen. Oops. So we'll be doing that today. But I have my hat. I'll have my hat. And I'm going to be dressed with less layers. I had my jacket with me. It was tied around my waist. It was still pretty hot. Because here you have the heat and you have the humidity. And if you're not acclimated to that, that can really wipe you out. So I'm going to make sure to have lots of this, drinking lots of water. So today, a little bit sore, but I soaked in an Epsom salt bath. I plan to do that again tonight to gear up for Thursday. But I'm doing okay. So thank you for asking, Sherry, because that's been a major thing. So yeah, this course, guys, I'm telling you. Ooh, look at that. These are all the holes. You see the yellow, right? And so what's really great throughout the course is they have concession stands and restrooms. So if you position your chairs at the right holes, you'll be at a hole where there's a concession stand, a restroom, and so what we do is we'll sit at hole 2 or 3, We'll watch the players come through, right? Then we walk around and we look at the different holes, maybe catch a player or two, so that by the time we get to our next place where we set our chairs, hole 15 or 16, you get to watch all the players come through again and watch them all shoot. Now, you can't watch every hole, but if you pick the right places to sit, they're really, really great. You are having one day of glorious warmth and humidity today, storms rolling through, and all mid 70s tomorrow, 45. Yes. I mean, the fluctuating temperatures, right? So imagine, if you will, these great writers. And I bet if we were to interview them or ask them, people who have written, New York Times best-selling books, have they ever had a project or a time where they felt like they bombed? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why they work with their editors and their writing mentors or their team, or they'll work with people who help them do research for their books, right? But their editors are their biggest friends because their editors come alongside them and help them take those words and say, all right, let me show you what we're going to do here. You might want to change this a little bit here. You're going to want to do this a little different. And when you do that, it brings out the best in your writing. So for example, the project that I'm working on now, this gentleman speaks in very much a Texas twangy dialect. There's a lot of sentences that say, he's gonna do this and walk in and talk in and go in and change in. And it's all with an apostrophe, with an N and apostrophe, not a G. He drops that a lot of times. He'll speak in sentence fragments. But that's his style of speaking. So it's in a Texas sort of dialect. So if you really want to get how this person sounds, you want to leave those in. However, there were instances where, and it's a story, this is a really cool story. It's about a guy who's been a bounty hunter for 40 years. He's still doing it now. Interesting story. God, does he have stories? But I had to delineate between times where he was truly speaking in full sentences and using words that end in ing completely. So he would say something, we were checking them in. We intended to, we were arresting people instead of arresting them. But there are times when he would drop back into that twangy dialect when he was talking to the people he was chasing or the local people in Texas and Oklahoma. And so there were times when that was necessary because it conveys the style of his voice, the way he sounds. And yet there were other times where that wasn't necessary, where the sentences needed to be fuller so that the reader understands what's going on, but then drop back into his dialect whenever he was speaking. So that's important. So as an editor, my job was to go through and really make those calls. Look at the text in context, read the paragraph that it was in, and really make the decisions between when to edit and when not to edit, or maybe point out some areas of being redundant or inconsistent. And so that's important. So that's what editors do because they help writers really fine tune and hone their craft. And so when I'm watching these golfers, and I'm really watching them have face mental ones, golf, what I understand, and Rick, you can probably answer this for me. Golf is really a mental game. And when I watched those players practicing yesterday, it was really interesting to watch them, even though they were playing in groups, even though they were paired up in different teams and playing, they were still focusing on their individual game. So even though they were talking amongst themselves or pointing out different things, and when we talk about people coming alongside them to help them, let me tell you something. Those caddies that they have, they're not just carrying their bags, taking them. They are advising them. When they approach a hole, they walk the holes as well. And a lot of these caddies they've played probably on the amateur circles, probably didn't make it to the pros, but are seasoned golfers themselves. So they come out, they have a little notepad, and they walk the course with the players, and they, kind of advise them or tell them, you know what, because of what's going on, because of the rain, or because of this slope in the green, you might want to use this golf club. Or no, maybe I would sort of aim for this. And they advise the players. Now, of course, the player can decide what they want to do, especially if they're someone like Tiger Woods, right? But even Tiger may not win. And what's really amazing is that some of these players may not even make the cut. The cut. You have to be able to play and hit a certain stroke number, or you won't even be able to finish in the tournament. So if you don't make the cut, and several seasoned players sometimes don't even make the cut to finish playing the tournament. Imagine what kind of, head game that would play on you. These golfers know this going into it. They know it approaching the tournament. They know what they're up against. And so they're using their skills to the best of their ability to qualify and play in this tournament. So it'll really be interesting to see what happens this year. I'm watching the weather closely. I'm sure the people of the Masters tournament are watching the weather closely. They watch this day by day. They call it. We saw signs yesterday up about the weather. If there's lightning, they're not going to have the players out there. Right. Practice, physical repetition, game day, 95% rain. You're absolutely right, Rick. That's so true. So practice is physical repetition, like Rick said. So imagine if you want to be a writer, if you want to get good at writing and possibly write a book, or maybe you write in your job, creating content, clients, right? Or advising them, or have a blog, something like that. That regular practice of writing is so important. That's what gets you there. But game day, 95% is brain. Let me tell you, when people are working on their book projects, and I always coach them up, just write what you're thinking, what you're feeling. My job is to help you organize it, put it together, fine tune it, sift it, look at it, but just write. Well, to do that on a consistent basis, you have to write every day. If you really want to be a writer, just like any other sport or job or craft that you want to take on. You want to be a good welder, you got to weld a lot, right? You want to be a good doctor, you have to go into residency and practice your craft before you're allowed to practice medicine yourself, right? Would you want someone doing surgery on you that had only tried it once? I mean, I may be looking at hip surgery in the next couple of years. And so I'm going to want to make sure that my orthopedic surgeon is phenomenal, that he has skill behind him, right? I've already met with him and talked to him, and he already told me he doesn't want to aggressively go to surgery yet. We are using other things and doing other things to help me get healthy. He said, you might need surgery in the next, 3 to 5 years, but you'll be the one to tell me, because you will get to the point where you're in pain and you don't want it to have to happen over again. When I had my cancer scare, my oncologist has 34 years of experience behind her. And she's so good at what she does that she was able to look me in the eye and go, you're going to be fine. Isn't that amazing? Wouldn't you want a doctor that would tell you if you had a cancer diagnosis, oh, we've beaten this before, you're going to be fine? Because her level of expertise and skill has been practiced for 34 years, and she got so good at it that she has come up with protocols that's helped cure and treat women with breast cancer. That's what I wanted on my team. And that's what you would want on your team, right? So as you watch the Masters tournament this year, as you watch it on TV, first of all, know that I'll be there. I'm going to try to post and say, hey guys, I'll be wearing this. So you might see me in the audience. Um, but watch the tournament and really watch and think about, what are these players thinking about as they're playing, right? Because they're all skilled golfers. If you look up the official world rankings, a lot of these golfers, um, they're some of the top golfers in the world, but the top 10 golfers could possibly hit a wall and not even make the cut for the tournament, right? Just because they're the top currently in some of the, doesn't mean they stay there all the time, right? Their skill levels fluctuate. And so that's a challenge. So just know that if you're a writer, write. Do it every day. Make it a consistent daily habit. You'll get good at it. You'll develop your skill level to a point. But even some of the most seasoned writers still need an editor, still need those mentors and writing coaches and people in their life to help guide them, to help come alongside, carry their bag for them, if you will, and help make their writing the best, because they want to help those, the caddies want to help those golfers do the best that they possibly can on the course. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the caddies. It's fun to watch the players. So I hope that as you're watching maybe the Masters tournament this weekend, one, pray for no rain. Pray for no rain. I tell you, having to watch these players play in 85-degree temperatures and play in the pouring rain, that'll be an interesting challenge, right? Whole set of new challenges for them. Meanwhile, I am going to be having fun with all my guys, watching them enjoy the game. But again, I'm down here in beautiful Augusta, Georgia, on one of the most beautiful golf courses in the United States. I am so thankful to be here. And I hope that you, as you watch the tournament, really just enjoy and appreciate what these players are doing. These guys are some of the top skilled golfers in the world. And as you watch them, think about mastering your own craft. What is it that you love to do? What is it that you want to do and become? And how are you incorporating those daily habits that you can do to develop your skill? What is it that you love? What is it that you want to do? The people watching must be off the charts. Yes, it is. You've got, I mean, what's really fun to watch, Vic, are the kids that are here that are budding golfers. They love watching golf. They've watched it with their dads. Their dads are bringing the kids along. Some of these younger boys who are running around the different holes because they want to catch their favorite golfers, right? It's super fun to watch. But you talk about people, so many people in this at this tournament. It's unbelievable. Yes, it's super fun, but we cannot take our phones in because they don't want people being distracted by phones, and Masters really protects their brand. So that's why on the practice days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're able to take your cameras in. You can't take your phones in. You have to take an actual camera. So I got a camera and I learned it just well enough to be able to take photos. So I was like, oh my God, trying to learn a new camera while working on a book and trying to get down here. You can take real cameras, but you cannot take any phones at all. There's no shooting video. There's no, because they protect their brand. They protect their brand. Something to think about. And also, it was super nice to not have the distraction of a phone all day. No notifications, no having to check social media, no being inundated with spam calls, walking around a beautiful golf course. It was wonderful. And I told my kids, they already know. I said, listen, I got to go phone silent. Just leave me messages. I'll check them when I get back. It was really nice not having to be tethered to my phone. So that's the one beauty of being at the Masters, because they want everybody to focus. And when those golfers go to tee up and they hit the ball, the silence, there could be 10,000 people standing around. and nobody makes a sound. It's dead quiet. Once they hit that ball, oh, yay! Or you'll hear the crowd roar after the shot. But silence, the respect, the level of respect, not only for the players, but for the people. Here's something interesting. When you go use the restrooms, you go use the facilities, this is how top level they are. There are people in the restrooms. So in ladies' rooms, there's ladies there, and they're like, "Hello, ladies, come on in. We're gonna go down here to the end of the road there, but right down there." And then when you go to wash your hands, they're there, and they're like, Thank you for coming. Are you having a wonderful day? We're so glad to see you. Thank you so." I mean, there are staff there. There are people there whose job it is to make sure you are having a great time. Do you need a napkin? Um, and the concession stands, you just walk in. I have pictures. I took pictures, but they have snacks, so you can pick, apples and bananas and different things. And then you go down to the next one, and they have like cookies, different things. Then you go down to the next section, and they have their sandwiches: barbecue, egg salad, pimento cheese, chicken salad. Their chicken salad sandwiches are the best. I had some egg salad yesterday, but the chicken salad sandwiches are the best. And then you go to the line where they have the drinks, and you get to keep your cups. And so the green cups are anything alcoholic, so it's beer or drinks or whatever. And then they have lemonade, tea, bottled water, sodas, and just go down the line. You get all of your refreshments, and they're so cheap, guys. They're so inexpensive. You can get a sandwich, chips, a drink, some cookies, and then you go out to check out, and they say, "That'll be $8." I'm like, "What?" It's a experience, a sporting experience. And you know me with sportsing, right? I've never experienced anything like the Masters tournament. It is of the highest caliber of excellence. And so when these players get to a tournament like this, I mean, imagine they are called upon to bring their top skills to their game. Top skills. These are the finest in the league. So imagine. So that's what happens when you go to writers' conferences or you go to different things. It's bringing that level of excellence to you to call your best skill level up. Yes, an experience unlike any other. It's so true. And I'm glad I can at least share part of it with you. I'll be curious as I will be posting and talking about the tournament. If you have any questions for me, you can always either pop them down here on this broadcast or feel free to message me and let me know if you have any questions about what's going on. And more importantly, if you have a story that you're trying to write, if you have things that you're writing and you really want to bring your writing up to that next level, really bring your A game to your writing, let me know how I can help. That's what I love to do. My job is to help you bring your best words to the forefront to make sure that you are the best writer that you can be. I love recommending great books and sharing those with you. One of them is going to be our April book pick called The Bloomsbury Girls. We are reading that this month, and it's a really fun story written by a woman who is, let me get the copy of the, so I can find it here, get the picture so you can see that. Is it? Okay. Come on, where's my picture? I know I have it here somewhere. I love it on a live stream. Bloomsbury Girls, where are you? Oh, I can't find it right off. Oh, here it is. Is it here? And if you haven't, oh, here it is. Found it. So I love to read good books because if I'm going to help you be a better writer, you've got to read. You've got to read good books, have examples of great books. So this is written by a woman named Natalie Jenner. She has written several books. Let's see, I'm going to share this with you on the screen here. Here we go. There we go. Love again to share that. There it is. So, The Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner. This is a story written kind of around the period of World War II, and it's three women who work in a bookstore, and they are all facing different challenges of women at the time during World War II. And so they want to try to break the rules, but how do they do that? So they come together and work in this bookstore. And so Natalie Jenner has written this book. She wrote, previous to that, she wrote a book called The Jane Austen Society. So this will be a fun series to read together. So if you would like to join the book club, you can do so. I always love getting to have new people. We meet twice a month online. We read the books and we talk about them together. So if you would like to join the book club, if you have any questions about writing, if you have any questions for me just in general, and you would like to just book some time together to have coffee, talk about maybe some writing goals that you have, maybe some things that you would like to achieve in your own writing life, I would love to help you with those. Let me know how I can help you. So you can contact me right here, ronahorden.com/contact. You can let me know if you would like to join. There are two ways you can join my book club. So you can just join the list where you get my monthly recommendations for book reading, or you can join and actually be in the discussion group where we meet, where we talk. I love my group of ladies where we get together and we really talk not only about books, but we talk about life and we share what's going on in our lives. And having those kind of connections are so important. So if you would like to join the book club, you can do that. Or you can let me know if you have any writing projects coming up that you would really like to focus in on and help bring your A game and your skill level up to where you could someday say, hey, look, I've published my own book, right? Or share those stories out there in whatever form you deem fit, you deem possible. So that's my story this week. I hope you're having a fantastic one. Yes, Sherry, listen, I love having all you folks in the book club. It is so much fun. We talk about some great books, and I love the kind of people that are in our book club. Because again, coming together like that only brings our A game to the forefront. We really get to discuss things on a really deeper level, and that's only going to make us better. And so that's what I want for you as well. So I hope you enjoy this weekend. I hope the storms don't hit you too bad wherever you are. Pray for us down here because there's some golfers who really would love to play this course and not have to do it in the pouring rain or in lightning. But I will tell you, the Masters tournament officials probably already have their game plans ready for option B and option C should the storms happen. They call that day by day, and these players have to be ready, right? So let's be ready. Let's be ready to take our skills to the next level. Enjoy the rest of this week. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope when you watch the tournament, you'll be thinking of me. I'll be waving to you all and thinking of you and sharing with you how the weekend went. So thanks for joining me this morning for coffee. You know I'm here live every Wednesday morning. Love sitting down and having coffee with you. Thanks for taking the time to share with me and ask me your questions. And hopefully you'll continue to do that as well. All right. Well, guys, have a great one. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week. And I'll see you back here next Wednesday when we talk about one of my favorite events that comes up every year. It's the Merry Monarch Festival, the Hawaiian competition event where the best Hawaiian groups come together to perform. And so that's yet another week where we get to talk about a whole nother event where people bring their A game level skills to a competition. Can't wait for it. So we'll be sharing that because that starts as the Masters tournament is ending, the Merry Monarch Festival begins. So you'll be seeing me switch gears to talk from golf to hula dancing. And I can't wait to share that with you as well. Guys, have a great one. And hopefully I'll get to see you back here next week. Let's have some more coffee and talk story. Okay. Hope to have a great one. I'll see you soon.